for Oscar. So if you have a question, please use the raise hand function on the participants tab. The first question is from Michael Roberson. So go ahead, Michael.
All right, Oscar, another stellar game, 24, 11, and 4. So you guys had pretty much dominated most of the game, but they got it down to 3 early in the second half, and then you guys stepped on the gas. So how do you feel about the way you persevered as a player, and then also how Jaden has been your sidekick throughout this time frame when your 3 starters have been out?
Mm-hmm. I think Jaden really stepped up. I mean, he's had great games ever since he took on that starting role, and I think he's just going to continue to get better. I think as he plays with more confidence, which he gains every game, it's only going to work in his advantage. And for me personally, I mean, I try to come and focus into the game. Don't get too high, don't get too low. We know that in the rivalry game, it's always, going to be scrappy, and they're not going to go away until the very end. So, we were prepared for that, and I think we showed great resilience today again.
All right, next question is from Els Boone. Go ahead, Els.
Hey, Oscar. Obviously, it's great when you can get a win over Cal, but how did this one feel for you, especially considering this was a team that got the better of you guys last year?
Extra sweet, for sure. I had that game at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas last year in my mind before we stepped onto the court, and I think everybody else did too. Everybody knew that we didn't perform as well as we should have last year, and if that happens against Cal, that always kind of sits deep. And I think we played with that on our mind, and so we didn't give up and we played hard.
All right, next question is from RJ Abadia. Go ahead, RJ.
Coach, it seems like Oscar, it seems like Coach has known how to handle you guys in terms of getting really emotional, getting really fired up, and then also knowing when to keep it even keel. What was his approach the last 2 days coming off some tough losses?
He said it after the USC game. He said that we went on a really tough stretch against UCLA, Arizona at ASU, and then USC, some of the top teams and top talented teams in the pack. And he said after the game that he was really proud how we performed and that we were within a whisper of going 4-0 on that stretch. And so, I mean, Coach knows that we're playing hard and that we were in a situation to win all of those 4 games. And so there was really, no real reason to be concerned that we weren't doing the right thing or that we weren't playing hard or that we weren't trying. So I think that's comforting for him, and it makes his job much easier when he doesn't have to worry about the desire of the team to win.
And then he mentioned a sequence in the second half where it was you and 4 freshmen out there, and he talked about kind of the confidence you guys are gaining in those guys. How much of a role do you expect them to play if you guys are going to get to where you really want to go by the end of the season?
I think their role is going to keep growing. Max gave us a really good lift off the bench today. Brandon is doing some nice things. Noah played a hell of a game today, and obviously Michael's been playing really well as well. And, it's just a confidence thing. I remember when I was a freshman, if Coach puts his confidence in you, I think, that helps your game and helps you elevate the way you play. And I'm happy that they, got minutes today, and I think it's going to help us out in the long run for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, next question is from Steve Kroner. Go ahead, Steve.
Oscar, I'm not going to have you toot your own horn, but I'll have somebody toot it for you. Cal head coach Mark Fox said he thinks you're the player of the year in the Pac-12. I'm not going to say whether you think you are or not, but I'm just going to have you, how do you react when an opposing head coach says something like that?
A great compliment, but we still have a long season, obviously plenty of games to go. And I think, if I want to be in contention for that award at the end of the year, I think obviously I'll have to keep performing at a high level. And, last game where we played against another player of the year candidate, I think I really underperformed. And, that just fueled my fire a little bit. So I tried to come out aggressive today. And prove that I should be up there in the conversation as well.
All right, next question is from Michael Roberson. Go ahead, Michael.
Okay, Oscar, I know we're still in the midst of this season, and you'll be playing Cal again on Saturday. But do you go through those moments, this being your last year, that was my last game at Haas Pavilion? You know, and some of the trip when you were up in the Northwest, did you go through that little scenario where you're going through the motions that, you know what, this is the last time I'll be playing at this gymnasium, and it's real. It's coming to the end.
Right. To be honest, not so much really. I think I thought about it a couple of times. You know, when we lost on the road, for example, at ASU, I thought, well, you know, we obviously don't want to leave a place on a loss or the loss, but I mean, it pops into my head from time to time. But you know, I think I'm making the most out of my college career, and hopefully I'll get to keep playing on a high level for a long time. So it's more, you know, more of a exciting looking forward rather than like a melancholic looking back.
All right. I don't see any other questions. So Oscar, thanks very much for joining us. And thank you everybody for being part of this. I appreciate it.
Thank you.